Hey yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Matthew Maley for MatthewMaley.com. Well, I'm back here at the beautiful Rio, so you know that I've just been hanging out at the World Series, and it's time to do another vlog, update, vlog, whatever we want to call it, for the 2013 World Series. So, even though everybody knows about the main event, and that's still the biggest prize, one of the most appreciated amongst the poker world is that of the 50K Poker Players Championship. So I always make sure that I'm here to see the entire final table. Honestly, last year I was here pretty much all 3 days of it, actually 4 days of it I think, and watched from the jump. That's when I actually got to have a really fun conversation with the grinder, Michael Mizrachi. Ended up tweeting back and forth afterwards. He's a really cool dude. So it's just crazy to see, you know, even though I think this year there was only 132 people, but just knowing each one of them put up 50 stacks, and it's for that many games. I mean, just the thought of that is nuts. And even though, you know, my last video was about the new one drop for this year, which is the $111,111 buy-in high roller event, but still, this is just so much more impressive, you know. And plus you get to win the Chip Reese trophy, which it's named after Chip. That's awesome. But I do want to cover a couple events that happened since the one drop up until this point, and just kind of go over those before we get into the 50K. So first off, again, I mentioned it before, but I want to give out a shout out to Marco Johnson. He took down event number 48, the $2,500 no limit six-handed. Also made the final table was made by Maria Ho. I've always liked her. She's really cute. She's a great player. She's really sweet. She's really nice. So shout out to Maria Ho. Good for you, girl. Another final table that was interesting. Oh, in the $2,500 10 game max, Scott Abrams ended up making the final table for that, and Brandon Wong won it, which that's a cool tournament as well. I mean, I love 10 game. Don't know how to play 3 of them, but still cool. Ladies event, whatever. I still don't think that should be a damn bracelet event, but that's just me. But another one that I did want to touch on was the $25,000 no limit six-handed event. I didn't get to see it, sadly, but from what I read of the final table, it was pretty crazy. And got to give a big shout out to the guy who took second place, which is one of my favorite players, Phil Galfond. One of the smartest, brightest, good guys of poker. So big shout out to Phil Galfond. Oh my God, it's Clay Aiken, as his gamer tag is. But Phil Galfond's a really, really nice guy. In terms of training videos, he does some of the absolute best ones. So I recommend checking out Phil Galfond's training videos or just reading his articles. The dude is one of those type of poker players. Just a very mental type of player and great guy. So shout out to him. Took down second place and made $750,000. So Steve Sung ended up winning it. Good for him. Took down 1.2. So that was event number 52. Event 53 was the $1,500 no limit. I don't believe there was anything to really report from that. The 1K no limit was kind of the same thing. I didn't get to see it, so I'm not really sure. But then we get into the beautiful thing called the 50K Poker Players Championship. And there's just so much excitement surrounding it. And even, like I said, even though there's only 132 players, and a lot of the, random fans don't come to Vegas just to see the Poker Players Championship. They want to see, the main event or the one drop. But to me, this is where every poker player wants to be. Honestly, if all things were created equal in terms of the money, I would rather win the 50K the 50K Poker Players Championship. Honestly, even if the money wasn't, if I was well off enough, even if I just won the 50K, I'd be happy. But I mean, there's just so much more to it. It's the tournament that poker pros respect the most, I would say. And it ended up going to a guy who's had an incredible summer, had made 3 other final tables, and finally got his victory with the fourth one, and that's Matthew Ashton, who was from Liverpool, England. And like I said, he made 3 other final tables this year, so I'm sure he's doing pretty well in Player of the Year standings as well. And finally was able to win this, took down $1.775 million for his first place. And from what it was a crazy night, just in terms of, I mean, it's like almost 5 now. It ended about 1:30 or so. And I've just since then just been watching other people and watching people party and watching some open-faced Chinese. So I've seen a lot of hands tonight. I don't remember exactly how it broke down. But I know that it was 8-handed. I got here, like, I was here when the first cards were dealt. And I think it was either like 4, maybe like 5 or 6 hands in. Jonathan Duhamel, former main event champion, ended up getting knocked out in the middle of a pot limit Omaha hand, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I think so. It was pot limit Omaha. And ended up getting knocked out. Mike Wattell, who's also a pretty well-known player, he ended up getting knocked out next during No Limit. Then it went to Min Lee, however you pronounce his name. I've literally heard Danny Negreanu call Min Lee, like, I don't even know. But he's a really, you wouldn't, a lot of people don't know him because even though he's had a couple decent deep runs in the main event, and I believe this is his 2nd or 3rd time final tabling the Poker Players Championship, he doesn't speak very good English, so he doesn't come across as one of the more popular players. But in terms of all the games, he's incredibly consistent and solid. I actually met him way back in the day. I was 21 years old, met him at Treasure Island. They had actually opened up a poker room there, and I don't know if he was playing in a tournament there or something for, like, for the promotion of the Treasure Island, because he's a way bigger player than any game they've ever had at Treasure Island. But he was a really cool dude, even though he didn't speak very good English. We still had a decent little conversation, and he was a really cool guy. So was happy to see him not only make the final table, but also have a decent run. And then he ended up in 6th place. Next after that was Danzer, who got knocked down in 5th place when he lost to Don Nguyen. And then after break, they came back 4-handed, and that actually ended up playing for over 4 hours, I think, or maybe right around 4 hours at 4-handed. Each person just kind of rotating chips around. Nobody really able to get much footing, from there. Then finally, I think Benjamin got knocked out next. During level 24, Benjamin got busted out during stud. Don Nguyen made a full house and took over the chip lead again. So now we're down to 3-handed, and 3-handed actually didn't take that long. Ashton ended up really starting to build up his lead more in 3-handed, and let me get the exact here. It was on hand 192. He had over half the chips in play. So once it got to 3-handed, it was really kind of inevitable from there. Then 3rd place, I love him. I really was hoping he was going to make a comeback, but Johnny World, John Hennigan, who is another player, he's getting a little more publicity now after this past year's Heads-Up Championship, and he made a deep run in the main 2 years ago. But John Hennigan's just an old school poker player, and that's what I like about him. He's got a real cool demeanor. He's really chill. He's a really nice guy. I've talked to him like 3 or 4 times. Once over at the Aria, and then a couple times here, once at the Venetian, like 5 years ago or something. A really cool guy. So I was hoping that he was going to be able to put a little, comeback together. He sadly was not, and was eliminated in pot limit Omaha. He ended up, it was hand 257, and then all the excitement of, we're going to get some good heads up, nope, ended 7 hands, done. 7 hands in, heads up's done, and just like that, Ashton takes the win. And it was cool. He was really excited. He was really excited, and just seeing anybody winning the Poker Players is just cool. So there's still a lot of pros around, a lot of people watching. Ended up actually got to shake his hand real quick and told him congrats, and then he went off and he's probably still drinking somewhere right now. That's what I would be doing. I would have probably bought Tao. He did win almost $2 million. So overall, it was a super fun, super exciting type of day. Like I said, I love anything that has to do with the top level, and the Poker Players Championship is as big as it gets when it comes to poker, even more so than the main event, in my opinion, when it comes to perception of poker players. You know, this is a true testament of real skill. Where the main event, obviously you gotta have real skill, but you also have to go through essentially, 7 days of poker, never getting cold decked, never running set into set, or aces getting 2-outered by jacks, or anything else. There's so much luck that has to go into the main event, which is probably going to be even more this year because the numbers have been up on every event. This is the highest ever in the 44 years of the World Series. This is thus far has been the highest number. So I'm sure the main event's going to have like 1 billion people. We'll see if it ends up beating the all-time high. I'm curious to see about that for the main, because all the other numbers have been up. So definitely curious to see that. But overall, I mean, again, only 121 players, but those are literally 121 of probably the top 150 best players in the world. So pretty awesome, and congrats to Dude. He's officially the second British person from this year to win a bracelet. And like I said, he also had 3 other final tables. So pretty solid run. I wouldn't mind having one of those runs in 2014. So there you have it, most recent blog update. Like I said, this is one of my favorite events, so I really did want to do a quick recap of it and let you guys know all the stuff that happened here at the 50K Poker Players Championship. I keep wanting to call it a horse championship. I apologize. It is not. It is the Poker Players Championship, which is event number 55. So there you have it. Great event. Great, it's just everything. It's so exciting. So definitely really happy for Matthew Ashton as well, but also just excited to just be here and just to see that Chip Reese trophy, which bracelets are awesome, but there are very few people that have that Chip Reese trophy. So to me, that's even more impressive. And for those of you who don't know, all the games that are in play are triple draw deuce to 7, limit hold'em, Omaha 8 or better, Raz, stud 8 or better, no limit hold'em, PLO with no ante, and that is it. So you got to be able to play a lot of games well to get through that type of star-studded field and through all those games. So there you have it, our most recent blog update from the 2013 World Series of Poker here in beautiful Las Vegas, here in beautiful Rio. God, I love this city. So once again, thank you everybody for all your continued support. I really do appreciate it. It's nothing but love. I am Matthew Maley. This is MatthewMaley.com, the #1 poker video blog site in the whole galaxy, according to me. And hopefully you guys think so too. So, till the next video, I'm officially signing off. It's time to take my ass home, get some sleep, so I can get back here tomorrow and we can do it again. But as always, you can check out all my videos on MatthewMaley.com, or you can check me out on YouTube. Just search for MatthewMaleyPoker or MatthewMaley.com. Once you get on YouTube, you can like my videos, you can comment on my videos, you can subscribe to the channel so you can be the first person who finds out when I post up something new, or not, but I appreciate it if you do. You can also check me out up on Facebook, search for Matthew Maley Poker, like, comment, and like the page, comment on the page, maybe suggest me to your friends, I wouldn't mind. Follow me on Twitter, at Matthew Maley, always tweeting. And finally, check me out on Instagram, Matthew Maley Poker. And until the next video, I am officially signing off. Hope everybody's having a great week. Stay up. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.